I got some books. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. And today I will be showing you my book haul. I did a lot of book shopping in the past month, so I decided to be a bit naughty and buy a lot of books that currently hold my interest and that I hope to be able to sort of read today. And then I got some books from friends and I found it all in random places. And yeah, since there's so much to get through, let me just get right into it. I already read the book of this first series that I'm going to be showing you, which was Lockwood & Co. and The Screaming Staircase, and the second one is The Whispering Skull, and the third one is Hollow Boy. I absolutely adored the first one, and that's why I decided to pick up books number 2 and 3 in the series by Jonathan Stroud. If you don't already know this series, it's about a group of teenagers who are combating ghosts. It takes place in a alternate universe where in London, where ghosts are popping up left and right, and the only people who can see them are children and teenagers. A complete series that I purchased is the Philip Pullman and his Dark Materials series, and I just bought all 3 of them. I actually saw a bound up of this almost 2 years ago when I was in Copenhagen, and I was just very intrigued by the story description of that, and I've been wanting to buy these ever since. And since I know I'd be much more compelled to read these books if they were separate books, I decided to get the box set instead. I didn't just buy series, I also bought single books. This is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I read Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman and absolutely loved it, and I follow him on Twitter as well, and I think he's just a funny, smart guy. And I just can't really wait to read more by him. But in one of my searches, I found this book, which is The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig, which is about a girl who travels through time with her dad on their pirate ship. In preparation of my book haul, I did watch a lot of book collection videos on BookTube, and one book that I saw a lot of people own is The Diviners by Libba Bray, which, I don't know, again, I just read the description on the website before purchasing this and it sounded really cool. Something about superpowers and some mystery and suspense. So that's always good in my book. So Libba Bray, The Diviners is also now on my shelves. Another one-off is this Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sayens. It's just about Ari and Dante who become friends, and they're very different but yet very much alike as well, and they seem to be, you know, bring out the best and the worst in each other. That's at least how I interpret the blurb on the back. This is The Masked City by Genevieve Cogman. This was on a table in one of the bookstores in my town, and I walked past it at least 3 times before I decided to pick it up. Again, it's set in an alternative Victorian London, where this girl called Irene works undercover as a spy. She has a friend who has dragon heritage, and then somehow she ends up in Venice. I don't know, Venice, great place, London, great place, Victorian setting, I'm all for it. So this sounds interesting. I also got A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. You will see some of her other books popping up in this haul a little bit later on as well. I didn't have this one yet. Apparently it's a retelling that is loosely based on Beauty and the Beast, which sounds incredibly amazing. I read the first book from the Throne of Glass series, and that's pretty much what made me want to get this as well as the rest of the series, because that was just amazing. So I thought, why not add this one to the haul as well? V.E. Schwab's Vicious is a book, again, that I hear a lot of buzz about. Some people absolutely adore this. So it's about 2 friends who start out as roommates, but something goes wrong along the way and they become rivals. I got these 2 books from my friends who showed up at my house after having been to a secondhand bookstore to try and get rid of some of their books. And I went through their pile and I picked up these 2. I have no clue what these are about. They both seem to involve a house that is like murderous, a bit like The Shining or something like that. It's one book called Deadfall Hotel by Steve Rashnick Tem, and White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I'm really terrible when it comes to, you know, buying the first book in a series, and then I don't want to read that book. because I don't have the rest of the series, you know what I mean? So I decided to buy a lot of books to go with books that I already have. So the first one that I wanted to complete was the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Marissa Meyer. I already own Cinder. I picked it up last summer when I was in the States. So I decided to pick up the other three, which is Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. And these are also fairy tale retellings with cyborgs, and it's a bit of a sci-fi twist, with Cinder being based on Cinderella, Cress on Rapunzel, Scarlet on Red Riding Hood, and Winter on Snow White. So I can't wait to read these because everybody seems to love them and I want to love them too. A series that had been sitting on my shelf for a very long time was the Shadow and Bone Grisha series by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't own this one yet, which is Rune and Rising, which is the third and final book in the series, and I just never read it because I wanted to get the third book, so now I finally went round and caved and bought this book. I think I had this in my shopping cart for like a year and a half. That's how long it took me to haul this. And because this entire Grisha world sounds just super intriguing, I decided to also pick up the new series that Leigh Bardugo has started writing, which is, the first book is The Six of Crows. This book is The Invasion of the Tierling by Erica Johansson. I bought the first book, The Queen of the Tierling, a few months ago, and when I saw that the sequel was already out in a paperback edition, I decided to pick it up. I only picked up one classic novel. I already own a lot of classic novels, so there's little for me to really explore and go around and read new things. But I've never read anything by Anne Bronte, so I decided to pick up The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which I bought secondhand for €5. Woohoo! A series that I discovered because I was browsing Waterstones in London one day is the Peter Grant series by Ben Aronovich, who wrote, I believe, also for like sci-fi series, etc. And the Peter Grant series, if you don't know what it's about Peter Grant, who is a police constable in London, and the first book he just graduated, and he finds out that he can detect and do magic. And there's, this is the fifth book in the series, which is called Foxglove Summer. And again, these books are very suspenseful. It adds a dose of magic. There's also a bit of Greek mythology in there, and I absolutely love it because of that. I didn't like the one before this one all that much, but I love the first three books in the series, so I'm hoping this is as good as those first three. I've got a few more after this, but this is the major bulk of this haul. One of the reasons why I wanted to get so many is because I didn't own a complete set of Percy Jackson books yet. I read the first one, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and then decided it was a bit young for me, but right now I am looking to 4 books that I can just easily breeze through, so I decided to get both box sets of the 2 completed series that concern Percy Jackson. So I have Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which includes Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And I also own the completed series of Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus. So we're almost at the end, and a series that I bought in its entirety is this trilogy by Laini Taylor. This is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, which includes Daughters of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. And I'm not exactly sure anymore what this is about, but I did buy it based off of the blurb on the website where I got these. And it's about a forbidden love, an ancient and epic battle, and hope for a world remade. And finally, I already mentioned Sarah J. Maas before in this video, and that was because I bought A Court of Thorn and Roses, and I mentioned then that I read the first book in the Throne of Glass series, which I purchased in the States last summer, and of course I didn't own any of the other books yet. So, what I did, I purchased all the other books that are out in this series at this point in time. Apparently it's going to be a 6-part series, so there's 4 books out right now. The second book being Crown of Midnight, the third one being Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows being the 4th book in the series. And I also picked up the novellas which are gathered in The Assassin's Blade. Alright, so that's it. Those are all the books that I bought in the past couple of weeks. I know that this is an insane amount, and I do not recommend anyone buying this many books in one go. However, looking at my shelves, I just needed a good influx of young adult fantasy, I found, as well as some other more serious fantasy books as well, because I didn't really own any that had, I have a ton of books, but nothing in that genre, and not that much in that realm of the book world. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to, in the meantime, you can also check out my blog where I post a lot of different content, from beauty to fashion, and also about books. So I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and that's it for me for right now. See you in the next one. Bye!